Good day. It is about 14 degrees. I didn't put a jacket on. I might regret it. Depends how hard I walk today. It's a Monday. I took today off because tomorrow is Indigenous Day and we get the day off at our company for that. And I had the past Friday off, so got a nice 5-day break out of it. After Saturday's walk, my right big toe right at the joint is sore, so I'm not sure if I overworked it or what. It's something that happens every now and again with me, is a joint of some sort will flare up. So I'm out here trying to walk it off. It's not going to be a big walk today. I have an appointment at noon at Costco. This time it was our Honda that picked up a big frickin' nail. I'm getting tired of all the junk on the roads in this city, and I don't know, somehow we seem to be picking them up. There was some utility work done. I think our neighbor 2 houses down, they had to replace their power service, and my wife thought she heard something close to in front of our house when she was pulling in, and I go out last night just to take out some garbage, and there's this big 3 or 4 inch nail sticking out of her tire. So I started pulling it out, and yeah, it was like a spike. And of course the hissing started. She couldn't have drove like that anyways, it would have destroyed the tire. So I'm glad I saw it and caught it and didn't have to deal with her having a flat tire at work or destroying the tire. Very annoying. So I was out there changing the tire, 10 o'clock at night. It was in the garage, no big deal. But now I have an appointment to get it fixed. So anyways, just walking the neighborhood today, see if I can work out this joint on my foot, and we'll just do a neighborhood walk, check out the ponds, and see what's going on over there. A few rabbits still around. They start to disappear in the fall because the coyotes come out of hiding. Somebody getting some work done inside their house. New flooring by the look of it. I guess all of our houses are getting at that age, where it's time for a renovation. We've been looking at our floor, and it's a hardwood floor, but the hard part of it is questionable because we've got dents and grooves and scratches in it, and been debating whether to replace it or have it refinished. I think you can get one sanding out of these engineered floors. We might look into it, but I mean, it will be a couple $1,000, I'm sure, to do it. I mean, we're not thinking about selling our house now, but you know, if we ever did, we'd like the floor to look nice, but we'd also like the floor to look nice while we're living there. Never go down that trail. It just backs onto those houses there. When we first moved here, they used to have horses there who could come down here and rub their nose. Alas, they're gone. So yeah, being a Monday, neighborhood's pretty quiet right now. Fall is in the air, but it's supposed to get up to 24 still today. So either I'm gonna work out this swelling in my toe or I'm gonna make it worse. Time will tell. Usually movement makes it better though. I seem to be out of touch with Runkeeper. I keep forgetting to start it. I was in the habit of doing it right away. Now I'm out of that habit again. Arg. We're still in a scenario where there are very little for houses for sale in these neighborhoods that we live in. They say housing prices are dropping, but I think there's still a supply and demand situation here too, that I don't think we're seeing the listing price go down much. So my wife had to take the Jeep to work so that I could take our Honda in, and she hasn't reported back, but I'm sure she's going to be amazed at all the idiosyncrasies it has now. Because you know, when you have a vehicle for a long time, it's just like, oh, there's that kind of rattle, we'll just turn up the radio a bit, or oh, it does that sometimes, you just kind of ignore it. It is getting long in the tooth, but I guess every vehicle we own is getting old-ish. Our Honda is 6 years old, paid off though. My truck is 13 years old, and the Jeep is 15 years old. I guess kudos to them that they hold together that much longer now. It kind of getting into a position where we know we want to get a newer truck to pull a trailer. It's just when to pull the trigger. Because when you're eyeing retirement, it's like, you know, you don't really want to take on payments. But unfortunately, in this world, you're kind of stuck with it. Being held down by the man. I guess we can change our future ideals and desires, but still want to live a little too. Life is short sometimes. You never know what's going to happen. Heard of too many people that, you know, in their 50s or 60s get cancer and end up with a much shortened life or something debilitating. So you got to remember to live a bit too, because there's no guarantees. As I get closer to retirement, I've been watching a lot of retirement and wealth management videos on YouTube, assumably from reputable organizations, and you know, they talk about when to take your CPP, because in Canada you can start taking it at 60, or you can delay it all the way up to 70. And the whole RRSP meltdown scenarios. And everybody's different, and you got to look at your own situation as far as your financial situation, and you know, you can kind of guess at your longevity. Because I know in my family there's a mixed bag where, like, my mom died in her early to mid 70s, yet her parents lived to be in their mid 80s, and my dad is coming up 91, and he's still kicking good, and his mom lived to her mid 90s. He had an aunt that lived to over 100. She just passed away last year, I think. So it's you know, it's a mixed bag, obviously, and you never know what's going to happen to you. So do you hedge your bets and start taking CPP now? But for me, it could put me into a tax situation, right? So still earning income and taking your CPP may not be a good thing. People say, oh, I'm going to take my CPP early and I'm going to invest it, and it's unlikely you're going to make up that 30% loss in taking an early payout. Well, it's not a payout, but an early withdrawal. And they say that your break-even point could be in your early 80s. Well, people are living a lot longer these days, and you hope that's the case for you as well. So if you deplete your RRSPs quickly, and you know, build up your TFSAs doing that, manage your tax overhead, all that stuff, delaying your CPP might be the right thing. All I know is you never know when to pull the trigger. I could just say, well, I can start drawing my CPP now and use that income, to pay for the new truck. But I guess, it's all kind of scary when you think about retirement and losing that steady income and relying on your own resources. And retirement's a relative word, right? You're gonna stop doing what you're doing now, but probably find something else to do. That's why I'm hoping my developing YouTube career is just gonna launch. So if you want to help a guy retire and get some of that residual income, don't forget to subscribe and like and comment and all those good things. Well, in this pond all the birds seem to have disappeared. I wondered in a previous video what the significance was of the geese flocking in mid-September, if they're just migrating to eating locations as they make their way south, and what winter's going to be like. There is a theory that because there was such a lot of berry growth that in our area anyways, that the animals can have lots of store for a long winter. All theories, of course. All it takes is some kind of weird event like a volcano erupting or an earthquake or something to change the weather pattern again. The wind has blown in a lot of traffic noise today. A few ducks out on that pond still. A few golfers still at it as well. Well, maybe a half a dozen or so ducks still around here, but that's about it. Wonder where those pelicans moved on to. Pond looks a little low right now. This pond here was where those must have been 50 ducks hung out here all winter. So what is that? It's got little pricklies on it. Interesting. Anybody know what those are? Yeah, you can see these apples are rotting on the vine, unfortunately, but pretty good apple crop for in the city. What are you doing out here all by yourself? Where do you live? Hey? Where do you live? You look kind of skinny, but just be who you are. Hey? Nice kitty. Okay, carry on. Have the rest of your day. I don't think that cat's feral. I don't see a lot of cats running around. People seem to keep them, in their yards or inside cats now. Our cat used to, any open window, she would claw at the screen to get out. There was no keeping her in. And sometimes she'd be gone for a day or two. She wasn't wild when we got her, but she was, I think, she was a small cat, so maybe she was the runt of a litter, and somebody dumped her in the ditch in the country, and she just became ours through a friend of a friend. A pet that I didn't want, but who did she come to the most? Isn't that always the way? It's like they can sense that, this is going to be my person, whether they like it or not. And she stuck with us for 17 years, so I guess we did right by her. Lots more of these prickly things. The only thing I know with that in the name is a prickly pear. Doesn't mean that's what it is, of course, but yeah, most of the birds have flown the coop, as it were. Except for the ducks. Well, some geese coming in for a landing here, though. Oh, they looked like they were going to come in. Maybe I frightened them. Oh, maybe I frightened them off. They were going to land and then said nope. So that trail there just dead ends at the golf course. And can't go through there right now. Actually can't wait till golfing stops so I can actually do some golf course walks again. Because they're nice and handy, they're close by and you can put a lot of miles in. Somebody trying to repair a fairy ring, I guess, there. And that way just, again, ends up at the golf course. So let's just kind of stick to the quiet din of a urban neighborhood. These people ended up with a nice huge front yard, you know, which is okay, I guess. But yeah, they got kind of a weird fence line with the other houses that back right onto it. Fake grass. At least I think that's fake grass. It's nice when it's all laid out like that. But you can start seeing as it does age, it gets seams in it and stuff. So I guess not everything is perfect. We don't live in a perfect world. You can drive yourself insane trying to make something imperfect perfect. So don't do that. Just let it be. Mundane man's advice for the day. Well, my big toe is still sore, but it isn't getting any worse, so hopefully this will amplify the circulation to it, and I can only assume it's a little bit swollen in the joint there. I was gonna head that way on the busy road, but I think I'll just duck into the meadowlands here and stay where it's quiet. Okay, what is this contraption doing? Mobility monitoring, whatever the hell that means. That's a crescent over there and no path leading along the adjacent to the busy road. I think I've run into this before in my past winter videos. A couple places through here I've fallen on my ass. Need to do better on footwear and ice. I think I will get some of those spiky things and see how I do. Because while they can help you balance on ice, they can also become a trip hazard too, so because you'll dig in too hard into the ground while you're walking. I find the longer I walk, I almost start getting to a point where I'm nearly dragging my feet. Pretty gray day today. I don't know if we'll get up to 24 or not. Okay, this says no exit, but I believe in the corner over there is a path I can take for pedestrians. It's a no exit for cars. Tesla license plate saying gasless. I bet the driver's not gasless. Oh yeah, this little path takes me to the fire hall. I do like neighborhood walks when everything is nice and peaceful. People are at work or school. It's a whole different ambiance to a neighborhood when there's no activity in it. Just chatted for a second there with a guy walking his dogs, and he was remarking about how quiet it was today. So I don't know if, like me, people took an extended weekend by taking today off, or it's just like I said, people in school and work, and anybody who's off today is hunkering down. It is a bit of a gray day, but still nice, none the same. After walking in minus 30, this still seems quite delightful. I hope I can still motivate myself in the winter when it's that cold. This is a pretty active fire hall. We live a few blocks away that way, and you can still hear lots of siren activity as they leave the hall. I think a lot of the problem with my toe today too is my lack of stretching. I really need to get into that habit, but alas, I don't. So things tighten up, it starts pulling on other things, and then you got problems. Look at all these. Those look like pears for sure. Look at all this fruit. Just gone to waste, I guess. I don't know what they'd be like, but yeah, it was a good year for fruit trees. I think I'll cross the street and duck into Seacourt over there, get away from some of the noise here. Oh, this strip mall's come a long way since I was walking through here in the winter. A&W and Petrocan. They always seem to share retail space. I forget that there's a gas station there, but Shoppers Drug Mart and No Frills, which we knew were there, and the potential for a bunch more. A year ago, nothing but a dirt pile. Lots of rental apartments going up too, so hopefully that relieves a bit of the stress and maybe balances out some of the cost of rent. Guess it won't be long before this neighborhood is done. Got the retail stuff gone in, multifamily housing, school, guys in their trucks smoking dope. You realize that's an offense, right? It's like drinking beer in your car. Okay. Nice little runoff pond here, but we're running into the grass cutter, so we'll stop videoing here because of the noise. Not that I'm afraid of the noise. It's not very zen-like though. Oh, some nice roses here. I think that's how you can tell we haven't had frost yet. I like that they're more conscious now of water runoff, and then put in all of these basically stormwater catch ponds. But it certainly makes a nice park area in neighborhoods that might otherwise just have, I don't know, a mess and flooded basements. I was going to go that way and kind of stick to the residential part of Seacourt there, but starting to run out of time here. Need to get to Costco for noon. People doing the landscaping here are kind. She was weed whacking there and shut her down for me to walk by, and same with the person with the lawnmower. Appreciate that. they got a job to get done too, so we all got to work together here. Oh, I think I can make it. See, that whole jogging pace does not feel right to me. Feels like every inch of my body is slamming to the ground. I'll stick to walking, thank you. Okay, let's duck into this neighborhood and get away from the traffic noise. Ooh, shouldn't have had that coffee before I left. Now I really gotta go pee-pee. I think I'll make it. That's always the hope, right? Okay, I'm cheating here. I'm crossing the road and staying on this side. Normally I would be compelled to walk through all the crescents on the other side. But I'm running low on time here. Oh, somebody's cooking up something good around here. It's got my senses tingling. I guess it is just about lunchtime. Look at all the crab apples there. If you really like a sour flavor, crab apples are for you. I never did really like them. I say I'm not much of a fruit guy, but I do like in my protein shake, I like some strawberries and blueberries and raspberries. I guess when it comes to fruit, I'm not a real melon fan, like watermelon, honeydew, cantaloupe. All those things are just not my cup of tea. Zip across the speed hump here that they put in to slow traffic down. It certainly slows down those low cars, but I find them fun to hit at speed. Regular speed, that is. There was a guy back there aerating the lawn, you know, where they take those little plugs of dirt out. I don't know, is that... I'm on the fence as to whether that's good or not. I've never done it. Never dethatched my yard either. Just seems to me that a good fertilizer and lots of water will keep your lawn healthy. Canada Post is on strike again, I think. And gonna laugh at our Liberal government. Put forth proposal to phase out door-to-door delivery. It's like Groundhog Effect, because just before the Liberals got in 10 or so years ago, the Conservatives brought forward that same agenda. And the Liberals are like, no, you can't do that. That's an institution that needs to be preserved, and blah, blah, blah. It's nice to see how minds change, right? Gotta love the Liberal government, though. Whichever way the wind is blowing, that's the way they lean. I guess that's the mantra of the Liberal government. Stay on the fence and see which side you get pushed on. But it's things with a strike, though, with things like that you don't think about, like passports being mailed, you know. I don't know how many people are still getting government checks in the mail. Probably very few. But overall, the need for door-to-door delivery is really on the decline, I'm sure. So I'm all for it. We've had super mailboxes since we moved here. And really, for the amount of mail we get, we probably only check it once I don't know, my wife stops probably once a week now. Okay, that was 5.25 kilometers. Let's see how many steps we did here. 9,000 steps, so that was a good day. Got off to Costco to drop the car off, get the tire repaired, so I may do a walk around the ponds over there, but we'll see. So if I don't, until the next one. Okay, and just as a final update, this is a lesson on being boastful. My neighbor over there needed to have his power utility replaced for some reason or another, and they had to dig a little hole here to push the conduit and cable through. Well, my lawn, I don't know if you've seen other videos of mine, but my lawn looked like crap here, so I was being boastful that day that they came along and filled the holes and then actually dirted and put dirt down and seeded my whole, well, half of my front lawn. And I was like, woohoo, see what happens when you're lazy and do jack squat? Somebody comes along and fixes your problem for you. Well, the other side of that, though, is there's a good chance that when they were working out here, they dropped a big nail on the road, and that's what ended up in the tire of our Honda. So, a trip to Costco later to find out that it went through the sidewall, so we're running that spare for another week as they order me a new tire. I guess the advantage there is road hazard warranty for 5 years. The other side of it is the inconvenience. So, too many sides to this. I was happy that they fixed my lawn up, but then they may have been the ones that caused me the grief with the tire. Anyways, see you on the next one.